Well, in terms of qualification, the group has already been decided. But there's one more question that will be settled tonight. Who will win Group A? And the answer is, we don't know. But we know that Manchester United should be leading the group, but something is stopping them from doing so. But they come in the match against Basel tonight, having already beaten them in the reverse fixture. We know that Manchester United in the second half of that matchup were absolutely electric. They tore Basel to ribbons. But here's the group. Now it looks to me like Manchester United should be leading on goal difference, as they have a goal difference of 6 to Benfica's 3. But they're not. And I'm not entirely sure why. So the only way we can actually settle this is in this matchup. Manchester United need to better Benfica's result to win this group. Volkok is in goal for Basel. Gervinho starts again. He was one of the goal scorers in the previous matchup. Robert van Wolfswinkel is up front with Solchi in the main man in the defence, with Sophie and Leah in front of them. Kimiso is with Eric Gusen, and Valdes is with a couple others there. I couldn't read. The squad was too fast. Fair to say that Gregg Popovich wants to settle this full strength squad. David De Gea in goal with Rojo, Jones and Eric Bailly, with Saha, Herrera, Matic, Lingard, Pogba, Lukaku and Martial all coming back after the double at Arsenal. Gregg wanting to make definitely sure that his result stands no matter what they go through anyway, but he wants to win this and get the easier bracket per se in the knockout rounds. Well, just confirm on December the 10th, circle it in your diaries. It's the second round of Gregg Popovich versus Pep Guardiola. Gregg coming off a win in the Carabao Cup last 16, I think it was. Some feet. Oh, he's caught by the trailing leg of Wilfried Zaha. And he's gone down. And Zaha's going to get booked for that. Yes, he is. It's unfortunate, but I think it is the correct decision. Let's see this. Yeah, trailing leg. Doesn't have the ball. It's unfortunate, but it is the right decision. And Talian Xhaka is actually going to come on for that man who is looked injured. And Zafi has gone off. He's been around since the Sir Alex Ferguson days, but right now I think he's starting to show his talent. Well, it's 0-0 between Basel and Manchester United, so as it stands, Manchester United will be second in the group and will have the tougher bracket per se. You know, this is the Champions League, all matches are tough, but it is considered the tougher bracket if you go through second, and that's currently what Manchester United are going to have to do. They have to better the result at Basel and Moscow. We've had no results, so we'll have to check that one out. But we'll give you the report at the start of the second half. But currently here, it's 0-0. And David De Gea has been the busier, but obviously the best of the two keepers. So, the start of the second half here at Basel. And the situation is that Moscow and Benfica are tied at 0-0. So if Manchester United were to get a goal in the second half, they came close a few times. But if they are to get a goal and win this match, they will win the group and go through as group winners. No matter what, they're through anyway, because obviously they're a long way ahead of their chasing pack. But Benfica and Manchester United have the score to settle of who will win this group. Currently, it'll be Benfica, however. Here's Manchester Cedar tackled by Marcus Rojo. Another foul not given by the referee. Gervinho has played with Van Wolfswinkel. And as it stands, that means Benfica will win the group on some form of stat, although I'm not sure what. And Celtic and Armstrong, get this, at the Allianz Arena, Celtic have scored against Bayern Munich and lead them by 1-0. And Brendan Rodgers' Celtic team have been absolutely tremendous so far. They've really put up a fight in their group, Bayern Munich, Celtic. It wasn't the easiest of groups, especially with the German champions involved. Pogba. And as soon as United get forward, Basel really smothered them, to be fair. They're definitely semi-parking the bus, as it were. And Eric Bailly is down and hurt here. And oh my, that could really throw a wrench in Gregg Popovich's plans. Seri Dai is booked. Bailly is hurt here. And Herrera is helping him off. And what happened? Oh, he catches. Oh, that's painful. That could be some sort of broken leg or something. Eric Bailly is in trouble. And I wonder what's going to happen after this free kick. Manchester United are going to take it. So I'll put it in towards the box and Pogba. And here is the substitution. It's Anthony Martial who's going off for Marcus Rashford then. Jones plays in Lingard there, and there's Marcus Rashford. Instant impact from Marcus Rashford. And would you have believed it? I would have. Marcus Rashford has given Manchester United the lead. Instant impact from coming on the pitch. And Gregg Popovich has done it again, hasn't he? Masterful substitution. But of course you'd bring on Marcus Rashford when you need a goal, because he will get it for you. And he has got the goal that could change everything in Group A. We've had no updates from Basel. I keep getting that wrong. Benfica and Moscow all night long. The only one we got was at half time. And we knew that Benfica were drawing with Moscow. So if it stays that way now, Manchester United will win this group, because Marcus Rashford is giving them the lead now. Using to play it short. Wilfried Zaha. Oh, forced to save out of the goalkeeper. Wilfried Zaha, definitely audacious. And it was a long, long way out. And it was going in as well. What a save by the Basel keeper. He has been brilliant tonight. But he hasn't stopped Marcus Rashford. And that is the difference between the two teams at the moment. Mere minutes to go. Corner. And headed in by Lukaku. It's over. And that is it. And that is it in terms of a contest. Brilliant corner by Pogba. I think it was headed in by Zaha, and then Lukaku got on the end of it. Well, that sells this tie as far as the tie is concerned. But what does it do for Group A as a whole? We've had no update from Benfica or Moscow in the other game. Well, Pogba with a great corner here. Headed in by the Basel man, I think, towards Lukaku. Great header. And Marcus Rashford and Lukaku set this game all beyond doubt. And have beaten Basel again. Gregg Popovich. He's having a ball, isn't he? He's having probably the best first season I've ever had a head coach see at the moment. First goal for Lukaku in the Champions League. But don't forget that he was out for 3 months. And missed a large majority of the group stages with that injury. And Manchester United, well, they win the game, but do they win the group? That's the question that now we still wait for the result to come from Benfica and Moscow. We still wait for the result, but tonight Gregg Popovich and his men have done all their part. It took 88 minutes, but Marcus Rashford and Romelu Lukaku got the goals that separate their two teams on the pitch. But what does it mean for Group A? That's the question. We've had no update all night long. And the only one we had to get, like I said, was at half time. And that was 1-0. We've had no updates since. So what does that necessarily mean? Well, Manchester United have got the 3 points. But what is happening at Benfica and Moscow? Let's find out. As tonight, United, it took them a while, but they've done their part. And won by 2-0 on the night. David De Gea, sensational goalkeeping as usual. The Basel keeper looked to have a great night. But he couldn't stop Marcus Rashford, as so few do these days, or Romelu Lukaku with that header, which was rather unfortunate. I think it was a Basel man in the box heading it towards him, and there was nothing the goalkeeper could do. Manchester United win by 2-0, but what does that mean for Group A? We're still waiting for the result to come in from the other game. Well, it's been a phenomenal night in the Champions League. Celtic and Brendan Rodgers held on to beat Bayern Munich by 1-0. The champions Chelsea finally having some sort of convincing performance as they won by 4-0. Manchester United obviously beating Basel by 2-0. Juventus beating Sporting CP by 2-1. Olympiacos losing to Barcelona by the same scoreline. Atletico Madrid asserting authority against Roma, winning by 3-1. Paris Saint-Germain held to a draw by Anderlecht. But the other important thing to note, as far as Group A is concerned, it's over. And Manchester United have won the group because Moscow, I'm assuming, grabbed a very late winner at some point. And the score we're getting is 2-1. The final whistle has gone there. So Manchester United have won the group. And Moscow have grabbed a late winner and had their own say in the matter. Unfortunately for Moscow, it doesn't really help them much a chance of qualification. But they've had the say on who wins the group. It goes to Gregg Popovich and Manchester United, who many people thought would struggle in the Champions League. He's won his group. So let's have a look at the final classified group results here. And in Group A, Manchester United do win the group in the end, thanks to Moscow beating Benfica tonight. But unfortunately for Moscow, it wasn't enough to change the complexion of qualification, as Manchester United and Benfica stealed their spots a while ago. But in Group B, what an absolutely fairy tale story for Brendan Rodgers' Celtic team in one of the toughest groups, if not the toughest group, in the Champions League group stage. Celtic's win at Bayern Munich was absolutely vital, and they progress into second behind group winners Paris Saint-Germain. A wonderful fairy tale story, but shock and awe for Bayern Munich as the German champions are gone and going to the Europa League. Wow. In Group C, Atletico Madrid and Chelsea have qualified through the group. Chelsea actually looked out of the qualification slots at one point, but it seems like they've actually gone through as well. So a very last minute switch there as well as Chelsea get through. So the champions finally getting some headway in what has been a miserable season so far. In Group D, there's really no surprises. Juventus and Barcelona absolutely dominating Group D ahead of Sporting and Olympiacos. In Group E, Sevilla have won their group ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool go ahead on... Again, it's kind of a weird statistic, but it says that Liverpool have actually gone ahead in Group E ahead of Stuttgart, despite the... I think it's their goals for that has actually won them that one in Group E. Spartak Moscow also gone, along with the other Moscow side as well. In Group F, another late switch. Manchester City have progressed with Napoli and Shakhtar Donetsk in final. It was all to play for, and Manchester City came out the eventual winners in that one. AS Monaco, despite dropping points, scoring at a massive 16 out of 18 points. Besiktas get ahead of Porto and qualify themselves. This Champions League is looking rather phenomenal with who's progressing and who's not, especially in the last minute switches. But Real Madrid and Spurs, well, Real Madrid in any case, absolutely dominating it in Group H. And Spurs have got through by the skin of their teeth ahead of Dortmund, so another German team has gone as well. What that means for the tournament tree, we'll keep you posted. We can actually have a look at that right now. So, Napoli have been drawn with Liverpool. Sevilla get Benfica. Manchester United get Besiktas. Paris Saint-Germain get Manchester City. That's going to be a tasty matchup. And the other one in this bracket is actually Real Madrid and Chelsea. That's going to be a real tasty matchup as well. It's the German Champions League. It's the Spanish ones. Unless it was Atletico Madrid who won that. I can't really remember. Monaco get Barcelona. You would say that would be a mismatch. But Monaco absolutely dominated their group. So that'll be interesting. Atletico Madrid has Spurs and Juventus get team of the tournament Celtic. And just a phenomenal story for Brendan Rodgers. Whatever happens now, Brendan Rodgers has had a really successful year in the Champions League. That's to be certain. Second half of Derby Day today is Manchester City taking on Manchester United for the second time this season already. Live from Old Trafford. Next. So we've had Everton versus Liverpool, and now we're into Manchester Derby territory. Live from Old Trafford today as Gregg Popovich takes on Pep Guardiola for a second time after the win that Gregg picked up in the Carabao Cup round. Now we're in the first league encounter of the season. And, well, in Manchester, it's a tale of two stories, isn't it? Manchester United riding high and really improving under Gregg Popovich. Pep Guardiola still rather struggling with Manchester City sitting in 12th position. And it's certainly two different stories when it comes to these clubs. And that's another thing as well. Manchester United only conceding 10 goals all season long. It might not look impressive, but under Gregg Popovich, the improvements are certainly showing. And Manchester United are still sitting in third in the table, but it's a far cry from what it has been in previous seasons. With the likes of David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. Gregg Popovich is pretty much full strength today. David De Gea is in goal with Valencia, Lindelof, Bailly and Shaw. It's a bit of a switch up in the defence to Phil Jones today. Aaron Hill is with Pogba and Daily Blind, of course. Mkhitaryan is with Rashford, and Robert and Solby actually gets a derby start, with Ibrahimovic and Martial making the bench. I think there's plenty of changes to the squad that played in the Carabao Cup between these two, but Bravo stayed in goal with Kyle Walker, John Stones, Otamendi and Denisov, and that's the first big changes for Pep Guardiola. De Bruyne is with Yaya Toure and David Silva. It's with Sterling and Aguero to Sadio Mane. So definitely with Bernardo Silva making the bench, he started in the Carabao Cup match between these two earlier in the season. So two very different sides to what played in that fixture. But I think one key name in the Manchester United side of things is of course Aaron Henwood. He's going to be much more in tune with things now. He was really rusty when he came on and played in the first matchup between the two. He actually had a penalty saved by Eduardo. It wasn't the best by his standards anyway, but I think Aaron Henwood is much more in tune with things now. He's already put a goal on his name since then. He scored against Chelsea of all teams. And now we're really into it now. This is the Christmas period. This is the period that a lot of people expect Gregg Popovich to struggle, admittedly. As Aaron Henwood immediately goes ball chasing and gets the ball back. And we all know how Aaron Henwood's play rises with this fixture in particular. Enzov with the tackle. One of the new signings for City, I believe. Sane. Delightful ball. And Sterling is going to get there. He's going to be met by Shaw, and Aguero has put it in. And it's 1-0 to City, and finally the pressure pays off. What a delightful loopy ball by De Bruyne. Sterling had to do all the work here, and he did. And he found Aguero, who does what Aguero does best, and that's put it in the back of the net. And Gregg Popovich, who has been unbeaten against all the top teams as of yet, has now got to come from behind. And we all know Gregg does have the comeback factor, and that's Sergio Aguero's 6th goal of the season. And it'll be Gregg's first loss for a little over a month, really. They've been prolific in all competitions, but now they're behind. But we all know what Manchester United can do when they go behind, and that will scare those City fans as they wait on to the end of the game. City lead by 1-0 in the Manchester derby here. There's Aaron Henwood, and he is likely to make a name for himself. He was very quiet in the Carabao Cup fixture between the two. He was even subbed off. 14 appearances for Sergio Aguero, and David De Gea, well, to be fair to him, everyone was in his way, but they all count. And City will be grateful for that one. Probably with the resulting corner here. It's a header in by Robert and Solby with the header. And he towered above his man there. Good effort. Mkhitaryan with Henwood running towards him to back him up. And Henwood couldn't keep the ball there. And that's the end of the first half. So Pep Guardiola has the lead here, and I think he did against in the first match too. If you remember in the Carabao Cup, I think City went in with a 1-goal lead, and that was from Aquino actually, who doesn't make the team today. But it's back to normal service in Manchester City, and it's Sergio Aguero, who else, that gives City the lead. Gregg Popovich looking down at his 3rd loss of the season, his first defeat against the regular top 6. But there's still another half to play. But at the break, United are down by 1-0 in the derby here. Hans Blind. Henwood finds Pogba. And we'll keep running. Rashford. Marcus Rashford, he scored. Absolutely no surprise. It is Marcus Rashford once again against Manchester City. And the never say die attitude from Manchester United has certainly been reinvigorated with Gregg Popovich. Pogba and Aaron Henwood connecting well. Henwood was there for backup. He did what he does and runs into the box. Rashford didn't need him. Marcus Rashford has scored again. No Lukaku today. But Gregg Popovich doesn't need star players. He just needs whatever players he puts out there. They start with playing and winning for him. 8 goals in the league for Rashford now. Another sensational season by Marcus Rashford. He doesn't seem to really have an off day, does he? He's always there to score and poach goals. And Manchester United deservedly equalise here. And it's finally now into that other gear. Can he go on and win? He's got the equaliser. And Gregg is now back to his unbeaten kind of top 6 role. And United have equalised. It's 1-1 here now. And this derby has goals in it. Well, Henwood had a say in that goal, didn't he? He found Pogba, who found Rashford. Yeah, Henwood just nicked the ball. And here comes Aaron Henwood running at you, and he shoots. Well, his name went up in lights there. It's the Manchester derby. It's what he does. Worth a try. Gundogan has come on for, I believe it's Yaya Toure. I actually missed out who went off. It was Yaya Toure. Blind. Aaron Henwood to Pogba next for City. It'll be a trip to the Liberty Stadium to face Swansea City. And here's Robert Solby. Solby into the box towards Pogba, and he couldn't keep up. It's unfortunate. Solby again with the cross into Rashford. He's done it again. Marcus Rashford just cannot stop scoring. And he's given United the lead. Robert Solby has played really well this afternoon. 2 brilliant crosses, and Rashford was definitely not missing that. What a goal from Marcus Rashford. An absolute stunner. And once again, we're saying it. He's all over them like a Rashford. To think that phrase from Martin Tyler. 9 goals for Marcus Rashford. And there could be more this season yet. He doesn't seem to have an off day, does he? And the young boy is just absolutely on it and just doesn't seem to slow down. Gregg Popovich has a real selection headache when it comes to strikers. Because he has Romelu Lukaku. Admittedly, he has him from Jose Mourinho as he was penciled in. But it's Rashford and Martial that are scoring the goals. Mainly because Lukaku was injured in the early part of the season. But right now, those two look like a shoo-in. That's a great block by Valencia. City appealing for handball. Nothing given. Here's Solby. And here's Rashford. And he's nicked off the ball there. And he's one man that's really thriving under Gregg Popovich as well. It's a very young team here at Manchester United, and it's really working. The oldest player on the pitch today, I believe, is Aaron Henwood at 28. Sonny whips in, De Bruyne. Oh, what a goal. And I believe that's David Silva. It's 2-2. And United's lead has been evaporated. David Silva emphatic. Great cross from Sane. And we got goals here. We got a lot of them. Well, this cross from Sane was absolutely brilliant. He held up the ball, got it in between Bailly and someone else. I think it might have, I'm not sure who the other person was. And David Silva, well, it's a tap-in really, isn't it? And David Silva doesn't miss. And Gregg Popovich is having a bit of a tougher time than probably against Pep Guardiola in the first match, even though that was a 2-1 win that he had. But David Silva, who's got a new hairstyle to come for the season, with the season for Bernardo Silva, but we need to differentiate those two just yet. So we know it's David Silva, and we know he has scored. 2-2 here in the derby, and we have a lot of goals. Here's Rashford. Oh, and there are gaps in the City defence. Rashford's gone down, and that's a free kick. And John Stones is probably going to go into the book here as well. Oh, he's off. John Stones is off. And that's not what I was expecting. Manchester City down to 10 men. John Stones is gone. And well, what's this about? Oh, it does look rash, doesn't it? To be fair. Well, Raheem Sterling then going off for Mangala, and John Stones is off. And late drama here in the Manchester derby. We have 11 minutes left, and Marcus Rashford is going to take this free kick. He's already scored a couple already this season. Oh, he's off the bar with that one. Oh, Marcus Rashford within inches of his hat-trick. But here come United with Daley Blind. Oh, he's just missed it. And, oh, the referee's pointing to the spot. We have a penalty here. We have a penalty. And Walker, apparently. What's this? And he's tackled someone over the Daley Blind there. What? Complete confusion here. Aaron Hill is going to step up to redeem himself, but we need a replay. Alright, so here's the replay. We're going to go a bit further back because Daley Blind does awfully well here. Look at this. Brilliant stuff from Blind. Now, Mkhitaryan's in here. Daley Blind shoots. And because Mangala has tackled Mkhitaryan, that's the reason for the penalty. It probably is a foul here. And, well, is it, actually? Let's see if we can get a better angle at this. So, Blind is shooting, and because Kyle Walker here wants to blunt the ball, he's not noticed that Mkhitaryan has come as a decoy. And, well, does Mkhitaryan actually look for it here? Because Mangala hasn't touched, Walker hasn't touched him until now. So let's see, what the follow through. Mkhitaryan is going to go flat on the deck. I think that's a bit harsh. I think that's a bit harsh on Kyle Walker. He's kind of gone for the ball here because Blind is shooting. And Mkhitaryan, actually, to be fair, is jumping to the floor before Walker even makes contact. He is. That's bizarre. Mkhitaryan is already anticipating the challenge. And I think that's really harsh on Kyle Walker. I really do. I think Walker's legit gone for the ball because of Blind shooting. Caught Mkhitaryan. He was unaware that Mkhitaryan was on the way. And Mkhitaryan seems to be heading to the floor before Walker's even contacted him. I think that could be a dive from Mkhitaryan. I think City are kind of really unlucky there, to be honest. What a strange decision. Penalty given by the referee, and Aaron Hill with a chance to redeem himself on the spot. Claudio Bravo saved from him last time. Wow, Aaron Henwood, big game DNA here. And he scored it. And that's the least powerful penalty he's ever struck. And Aaron Henwood has scored. And, well, I'm not sure what he tried there. Was that intentional or not? Look at his run-up. It's pretty normal. And he clips it. I think what he wanted to do was not put his foot through it so much as last time. And he caught rather unawares. He's going to the left. Aaron Henwood, great penalty. Well, not a great penalty, but he'll take it. It's a goal against Manchester City. Aaron Henwood is redeemed. And with 6 minutes to go, Manchester United have the lead. But it's probably a very soft penalty given by the referee considering the circumstances. But Manchester United, with 6 minutes left, has Aaron Henwood just answered his team's call against City again. And it's 3-2, and it has been late action with John Stones off. Oh, but here comes City with De Bruyne. De Bruyne's gone down. Penalty given in there as well, Lindelof. We have another penalty. Oh my word. What drama here in the final 10 minutes of the game. This game is livened up. We could be looking at 3-3 now. Lindelof, clear penalty really. That's a clear one. No need for debate on that one. Oh my word. Such action going on here. And it's going to be Aguero, of course it is. And I think Aguero's going to strike this pretty tough. And he has scored it. And, wow, what drama here. Aaron Henwood's penalty immediately cancelled out by one on the other side. And just as we're talking about one thing, another thing happens. This has been such an enthralling derby in these last 10 minutes. It's livened up. 6 goals, 2 penalties and a red card. Oh my, what is going on? David De Gea completely bamboozled by the run-up. You would have thought that Aguero was going to the right. No stutter involved, just putting his foot through it. Brilliantly taken. And, well, Pep Guardiola and Gregg Popovich are having a real battle with their teams here. Witnessing their teams fighting tooth and claw for everything. That's Aguero's 7th goal of the season. What a derby this is. Stakes are on the line here. Manchester United need to win to keep pace with the leaders. Manchester City need to win just to get back into the top 10. But so many twists and turns in this final 10 minutes here, and there could be more. David Silva nicks it. De Bruyne. Mangala is forward and Aguero's put it over. And that will be that, I think. Oh, what a game. What a game. Absolutely action-packed all the way in the last 10 minutes. The most enthralling 10 minutes of football you will see this season. And we are still playing. Fellaini. Henwood. Rashford has kept running. Here comes Rashford. He's wide open, surely. He scored! 4-3 and Marcus Rashford has sealed it for United, surely. The hat-trick for Marcus Rashford. Oh my, Aaron Henwood, he saw him, didn't he? Aaron Henwood had one last say and Marcus Rashford put the icing on it. Hat-trick in the derby for Rashford. 4-3. It's like that Manchester derby all over again. When Michael Owen scored a late winner, it's happened again. Marcus Rashford, his 10th of the season, 3 of them today. Oh my, we are still going. Oh, so many twists and turns. One of the greatest derbies of all time, especially in these last 10 minutes. Has Marcus Rashford sealed it for his team? Yes, he has. That's the final whistle. And Manchester United right at the death. In Fergie time, quite literally, Gregg Popovich has pulled out his Ferguson checkbook and has got an injury time winner. Marcus Rashford with 3, Aaron Henwood with a penalty for his 4th, and another penalty from Manchester City as well, but Aguero converted. He got 2 of them. Oh, so much action in the last 10 minutes. Incredible game, incredible derby, and Manchester United, you have to say, deservedly win, even if their penalty was a bit soft in the first place. But Marcus Rashford, who scored on his derby debut, has scored a hat-trick today, and Aaron Henwood got one with his penalty and redeemed himself from the spot almost immediately after having one saved by Bravo in the Carabao Cup. This is so much action I can't even put into notes anymore. Oh, what a game. Oh my word, I'm out of breath. Manchester United 4, Manchester City 3. It's happened again to Manchester City, but it's not Michael Owen, it's Marcus Rashford. Well, in the other derby today on Merseyside, it had nowhere near as much goals, but probably as much action. But at the end, it was a 1-1 draw between Liverpool and Everton in the other game today. So at the end of the weekend, the table looks like this. Manchester United back at the top with a Fergie time winner against Manchester City, with Watford in second, with Spurs losing to Stoke earlier in the weekend. Southampton consolidating really their spot in the top 4, but Everton's point helps them close the gap to 1 point. Leicester City in 6th. Chelsea have shot up to 7th now and look like there could be some light at the end of the tunnel for Antonio Conte. Swansea and Brighton complete the top 10 with Liverpool in 8th. As far as the other bigger teams are concerned, Manchester City are still in 12th. Arsenal go down to 15th somehow. I'm not sure how that worked. They must have lost against who they were facing. The relegation zone rather has had a change as Burnley go out, replaced by Crystal Palace. Newcastle United, they're on 16 points. They're a point from safety. That include Arsenal, believe it or not. And at the bottom, Bournemouth have won. They won their matchup and finally get 3 points on the board but safety is still quite a ways away yet. Now 9 points, but there's still plenty of time for Bournemouth to make up for it, but they need to get a run going soon.